Coming up in the news, another change in the cabinet as one minister resigns and another is appointed to fill the position. The nation's leader speaks to the urgency of getting the Grand Bahama Airport back on track. And war construction carrying out road repairs in Hudson Estates. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Megan Shepard. Thank you so much for tuning in. The latest developments from the cabinet of the Bahamas topping the news tonight. Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, Leonie Rolle, tendering her resignation from the cabinet today. And it was the cabinet office a short time later issuing a statement accepting the resignation and announcing the appointment of a Grand Bahama-based member of parliament to fill that cabinet position. The Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, the Honorable Leonie Rolle, tendering her resignation in a letter addressed to the Governor General, His Excellency, the Most Honorable Cornelius Smith, the former minister stating that she was selected to represent persons residing in the Seabreeze constituency back in May of 2017, and that the contract she signed with the voters of the Seabreeze constituency was for a period of 5 years, or unless a new member of parliament is seated. Therefore, she remains focused and committed to fully performing her part of the contract. Rolle stating in the letter that she vows to represent the Seabreeze constituency as the sitting member of parliament, and she will continue to keep her word to do the best that she can. She adds that these are extraordinarily difficult times for the Bahamian people, and particularly the people of Seabreeze. Therefore, she will not abandon them in the hour that they most need representation. Rolle ending the letter by thanking the Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis, for the opportunity to serve as a member of his cabinet. She also thanked her husband, immediate and extended family, the body of Christian leaders, as well as the management and staff of the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture for their resounding support of her leadership as minister. Now the Cabinet Office issuing a press release to the resignation of Rolle, noting that Prime Minister the Most Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis has accepted Rolle's resignation. The statement adding that certain matters have been brought to the attention of the Prime Minister and are under investigation. While the Prime Minister thanks Rolle for her service, he also advised His Excellency, the Governor General, to appoint the Honorable Aaron Lewis as substantive Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture. Our ZNS News team spoke with Lewis, who says he believes this new appointment will be a good fit.
As a former Olympian and as a sport-minded and cultural-minded individual, it's a good fit. And I just want to thank the Prime Minister for showing the level of confidence in me right now to appoint me to that position. Right now, I just have to, it's not any time to posture or the grandstand. It's just time now to get straight to work.
Minister Lewis says he plans to hit the ground running immediately.
First of all, I have to go in there and meet with the staff. There are programs on the table, programs that are working. I have to go and meet with the staff and see what's on the drawing board right now. There will be some shifting, there will be some adjustments. But first of all, I have to get acclimated to the environment that is there right now, find out exactly where the ship is at, before taking control and steering it in the same direction, or of course changing course as necessary. So first of all, I have to go and find out exactly what is there, what programs, like I said earlier, is working, and of course, I have to, besides the ministry, meet with the various sporting and cultural organizations around the country.
Now, Minister Lewis will demit his post as Minister of State in the Ministry of Disaster Preparedness, Management and Reconstruction, which remains under the ministerial portfolio of the Prime Minister. The nation's leader says the Grand Bahama International Airport is crucial to the rebound of the local economy, and the government is taking critical steps to get the airport back up and operating at optimum level. With new openings to come in the hotel sector, he says the airport is needed to get the tourism product back on track. Italia Hall has an update.
Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis, telling our ZNS News team that the paperwork is complete for the purchase of the Grand Bahama International Airport. While in Bimini, the nation's leader giving an update on that purchase. He says the government now has to put a management team in place
so that we can take over the airport. That would be under the Bahamas government. But of course, we don't know how to manage and manage airports, and therefore we get institutions like NAD or other management entity to manage the airport.
He says the Grand Bahama International Airport is badly needed, as more room inventory will be provided soon once the Grand Lucine Resort reopens.
As the economy grows, the airlifts would increase, and therefore you'd need the airport. And with time, you'd find that the existing airport would become somewhat too small, and we would need to make decisions how to expand the airport, taking into consideration that Grand Bahama has experienced on several occasions serious flood issues, and therefore that has to be taken into consideration as to how we expand and where we expand.
He says some issues are still being resolved with the sale of the resort, and the resort should reopen at the end of the month or at the beginning of March.
The 400 rooms in the lighthouse, they would be utilized, and in the meantime we would continue our discussion with the existing purchaser, and we are looking forward to offload that hotel as quickly as possible so that they can commence the expansion that they wanted to. Of course, everything had been slowed down as a result of COVID, and I think we can now see light at the end of the tunnel, and the Bahamian economy would start to rebound, and likewise the world economy, and we expect Grand Bahama to grow.
Now, there has been some criticism surrounding the sale of the Grand Lucine Resort, but the nation's leader says he is optimistic.
Our team, our negotiating team, has been in discussion with the purchasers, and we're making great headway, and I'm very optimistic that it would be sold and it would be of great benefit.
It's Halia Hall, ZNS Network News.
And let's go to Abaco now, where work could begin soon on the redevelopment of the Treasure Key Airport. That airport was damaged due to Hurricane Dorian and is said to be badly needed to complement a hotel project in the pipeline for that area of Abaco. Jamila Mizik reports.
Plans to redevelop the Treasure Key Airport in North Abaco are well underway, that according to the Director of Aviation, Algernon Cargill. He says the government remains committed to redeveloping the airport, which was destroyed due to Hurricane Dorian.
We recognize the need for an airport in Treasure Key, particularly because of the residents and businesses in the Treasure Key area. Normally, in the normal course of business, we would wonder, is it necessary to have an airport in Marsh Harbor and one less than an hour away in Treasure Key? The consensus is that there is a business need for an airport in the Treasure Key area of Abaco. And as a result, we will be spending close to $2 million to rebuild that airport in Treasure Key.
He says the project is being managed by the Ministry of Public Works, the Department of Aviation, and the Disaster Reconstruction Authority.
It will be rebuilt in the format of an FBO type operation, and it means that the Bahamian public and visitors will still have full access to the airport, and it will provide the normal services of any of our 28 Family Island airports. There is commitment from the government as expressed by the Department of Aviation. The project is now in full swing with the government of the Bahamas, the Department of Aviation, and their stakeholders in the professional community who's working with our team to design and build this airport back as quickly as possible.
He notes that residents are excited about the reconstruction of the airport.
It should take about a year to be done. The projects are in the final stages. The project plan is in the final stages, and once you've gotten all the required approvals, that means the regulatory approvals, it should take less than a year to get it done. It's approximately a 5,000 square foot building we're putting in Treasure Key. And we have businesses in the community who have made their request known to the Department of Aviation and the government of the Bahamas, and they're excited that we are committed to rebuilding that airport. So it's something we are prepared to do, and it's something that will happen, and my commitment is, through my office, is to ensure that we get this done as quickly as possible.
Jamila Mizik, ZNS Network News.
It's been a long-standing bone of contention for the residents in the Hudson Estates subdivision. The badly damaged road conditions often make it difficult for road users to safely traverse the area. For years, residents have appealed to the developers of the area, the Port Authority, and to the government for relief. Well, tonight we share how those residents could expect to see some changes in the coming weeks. Here is Chamila Mizik.
Residents in the Hudson Estates community can almost breathe a sigh of relief as road repairs are being conducted throughout several parts of the neighborhood. The road condition in Hudson Estate has been a nagging issue for years, and ever since it has been a battle as to who should carry out the repairs. Wall construction is now in that community, and they have already reconstructed 2 sections. Vice President of the company, Brian Waugh.
We've established one point where we do need a drainage well in on this road behind me. But once we get the base work done here, we'll be moving to other sections. I want to get maybe 4 or 5 sections ready to pave before we start paving. And you know, it's a fairly quick process once the base is finished. We come in, we put on a prime coat, and then the next day we come back and put down the hot mix asphalt.
He says they're estimating 4 to 6 weeks for their portion of the work.
There's also a lot of patching to be done, but that's being done by a different contractor.
Waugh explains how the roads may have gotten in such a poor state over time.
The biggest problem is there's no proper drainage. You could put down as much asphalt as you want. If water settles on it and you get traffic, it's just due to the hydraulics of water and vehicular traffic pounding it, it's going to destroy the pavement real quick.
However, he says they're doing their best to get the process completed as efficiently as possible.
We have what we call an asphalt zipper. It's a small milling machine, and we're using that to mill the asphalt and the base to a depth of about 5 inches, so it could be reused. But we're also adding some fresh fill to it to as you know, to sweeten it up, and then we grade it and roll it in, water bond it. We had help from Mother Nature today, but other than that, that's the process.
Chamila Mizik, ZNS Network News.
Switching gears now, police confirming tonight that they have no one in custody for the murder of Omar Penn, aka Punch. Penn was gunned down at the entrance to a popular establishment on East Sunrise Highway on Sunday night. Since the fatal shooting, security footage has been circulating on social media, showing a gunman firing the fatal shot as Penn attempted to walk inside of the business establishment. Officer in charge of the Northeastern Division and a police liaison officer, Superintendent Teresita Pinder, telling the media that police are continuing their investigations and they are looking for help from the public.
To inform the general public that there are currently no suspects in custody in relation to the latest homicide on the island. No suspect in custody. Furthermore, I wish to clearly state that there is absolutely no truth to the rumors that are circulating on social media. Please bear in mind that this is an ongoing investigation in a very sensitive matter. Therefore, I wish to encourage the public to refrain from speculating and disseminating unconfirmed details on social media that can potentially prejudice this case. Notwithstanding the aforementioned issues, be advised that police are following significant leads in the case and that we are doing what is necessary to ensure that this matter is successfully concluded.
Pinder also commenting on the widely circulated images of a young man who was arrested shortly after the shooting, alleging that the young man was somehow connected to Penn's murder, as well as details of the arrest that was reportedly leaked by police. Pinder says the arrest of the young man had nothing to do with Penn's murder. She says that the police force has policies and procedures in place when an arrest is made.
We want to ensure the public that an extensive investigation has been launched in this matter. Let it be known that the Commissioner of Police, Mr. Paul Rolle, has previously implemented a series of policies in regard to the use of social media within the Royal Bahamas Police Force. These policies were implemented with an aim to establish procedures that strictly govern the dissemination of sensitive information within the organization. To this end, if it is found at the conclusion of this investigation that this policy has been breached by any member of the Royal Bahamas Police Force, rest assured that they will be made to give an account for their actions and dealt with to the fullest extent of the law.
Meantime, investigations are continuing into that house fire on Lunar Boulevard in Bahama on Saturday night. The blaze erupted after 8 p.m. and quickly spread, destroying the residence. Fire crews say high winds at the time did not work in their favor. The home was recently purchased by a family from Denmark, but was originally owned by the late Sir Albert Miller. Stay with us, there's more news right after this break.